My name is Stanley Crawford. Most people call me Brother Stanley. The reason why I started the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia was a result of the murder of my son on September the 8th of 2018. My son was 35 years old, and I raised him from the age of 3. It was just me and him. They was plotting to kill my son on September the 8th of 2018 on a Saturday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. While he was waiting for his sister to open up the door, they shot him once in the right temple, once in the right jaw, once in the chest. My daughter calls me, and me and my other son was together at that time, saying they just shot William. So we rushed to where my daughter was living at, and by that time we got there, they had picked him up and took him to the hospital. So when the doctor came out and told us that he didn't make it, the wailing that took place in that waiting room was off. I mean, it was unbelievable. He had 5 children, 4 baby mamas, a plethora of friends and family members. So the waiting room was just bawling and wailing all over the place. And I thank God that I noticed that, because I looked and seen what happened with my family. And that was the impetus for why I did not unleash a squad of murderers to get revenge. Because when I seen what it did to my family as a whole, I didn't want to bring that on another family. I learned from my son's situation or trial that the police, what they do, they arrest the person. The DA determined the charges that the person is going to be charged with. And then at the preliminary hearing, it is determined whether the charges is valid or not. This is where forensic evidence comes in at, because in order for the judge to make a determination that the charges is valid, they need to have evidence to show that this person was the individual that perpetrated this particular crime. And through the forensic evidence that was presented, specifically in my son's case, it was determined that he was the person that committed these murders. And when I first was there looking at it, I didn't understand it. I understand now that he was charged basically because the forensic evidence placed him at the scene of these crimes. From my experience with the murder of my son, and we also had a Family of Unsolved Murders project, if Philadelphia would get a state-of-the-art forensic laboratory, I believe a lot more of these murders would be solved and the families would get some type of closure on the murder of their loved ones.